Hello everyone, how you doing? Tintin57 here, and you know, we're back on the road. And you're joining me here on a run between Leipzig and Nuremberg. And you know, I wasn't intending to make a video tonight. This is Friday night, and the long-awaited patch actually dropped last night on PS5, so I'm assuming across all the other platforms as well. But I've jumped into this. I've not got the patch notes yet. I've jumped in, and I'm actually amazed at the graphical improvement. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna do a very short video and show you guys, in case, you know, you're like me, you've not played this for a few weeks, you're waiting for the patch. The patch has come now, and look at this. Look at the shadow in the cab. It's brilliant. That evening sunlight just coming in. And the other thing as well that I wanted to immediately say is that, look in the distance. Although there is some very slight pop in the distance of the scenery, it's nothing like what it was. And you know me, I complained, you know, the biggest complaint I had was the scenery popping, because that was one of the things that really took away some of the enjoyment of this game. And these guys seem to have done a lot of work on this for this patch. And I'm driving along, I'm just thinking, it's great, I'm going to make a quick video. I'm going to show you guys, in case you've not downloaded the patch yet, because it's worth getting. It's worth jumping back on again. Of course, we'll resume the normal service soon with our our trips around Germany. I'll get the patch notes as well. I'll try and contact Aerosoft and get the patch notes. We'll have a look through the patch notes. But yeah, graphically, it's the first thing that had jumped to my mind as soon as I went in. I was at the depot, picked up a couple of jobs. We've got a couple of jobs here. We're going down to Brutto in Nuremberg, and I was sat in the depot and I was looking around the outside of the truck, and everything was very clean and everything was very sharp. I think this game has always had a slight haze to it, if you understand what I mean. Even in the near distance, there was always a kind of haze. In the further distance, you can see it now, you would expect a bit of haze. I mean, that's what would happen in real life, but everything's really, really sharp now. And when I get on a straight and level, I will show you the outside as well, because actually, you know what, I'm going too fast. I'm going to slow down a little bit, because the minute I go out of the cab, I'll be into the barriers. Let me just take some speed off, put the cruise back on again. Let's go around this corner. Hopefully we've got something straight and level. Look at the mirror just while we're doing this. Just look in the left-hand mirror there. Now you know the history that this game's had with mirrors. They weren't working on PS4 for a long, long time. Look at the quality now on PS5 of that mirror. Look at the headlights on the cars as well. Those mirrors are very, very usable. And it looks so good now. And wouldn't you know it, I'm trying to take you outside. I'm trying to find a straight and level piece of this road, and of course I've hit the all sorts of S-bends and whatnot. Let's just take it around this bend, and then we'll see what we can do. So this patch, I was on the PS5 last night. I was still on about 10 o'clock. I think I was still on about 10 o'clock UK time last night. And then one of our viewers who plays On The Road and a couple of other games we've got here on the channel, he pinged me and said, oh, the On The Road patch has finally dropped. So I quickly put the PlayStation back on, and it was a fairly meaty patch. It was about 4 gig. So, you know, it wasn't insignificant. And downloaded it straight away, and then of course, you know, having work this morning, I had to go to bed, so I didn't get to try it. But I just jumped on. This is pretty much my live reaction to what you're seeing right now. You can see, look how sharp it is. I'm still terrible at steering outside the cab, but look how sharp that actually is. so much more detailed. They've definitely stepped up the graphics. Even in the cab, the detail in the cab, look at those dials. Those dials, I mean, okay, there's no zoom function, so they're still difficult to read. But look how much clearer those are now. Really, really nice. And you guys can't see it, but it looks even better on my 55-inch TV. So look at the distant scenery. There is some slight pop, and that is quite a way in the distance, but it's nothing like it was. So I'm hoping once we get to a city, there's usually landmarks in the city, towers, bridges, etc. And they were real candidates for popping, which was a shame because they've put those in the cities so that you can actually, you can actually look at them when you're visiting the cities. These are all real landmarks that you would see if you visited these German cities. You couldn't really see them because they were popping in and out so much, and it was a real shame. And this improvement alone is making a massive difference for me personally. I can't rate this highly enough. And I know there's a lot of interest on the channel for this game, so I wanted to jump in because, some of you guys were telling me that, you'd had enough and it just wasn't playing right, it wasn't looking right. Try it again, give it a try. Put the patch on, give it a try, see what you think. I think you'll be pretty impressed, to be honest. Now, as well as these graphical improvements, without having the patch notes, as I mentioned, they were also introducing the new trucks, new trailers. So there was the tanker. You could deliver things via tanker. I haven't got to that yet because I haven't got any spare slots. So I'm just about to level up. I'm not far from leveling up, which will give me an extra truck, so we can employ a new driver. It will give me an extra trailer as well. So hopefully I'll have enough money to afford the tankers. We can take a look at that. Right now I've not got the resources, the virtual resources to do that. So I can't show you that today. But this was just a quick video just to show you what I immediately saw when I fired it up. I'm going to see if I can get... We've got 116 kilometers to go, so it's still a fair way. I just want to see if I can actually get to the city, then we can see what that looks like together. And then I'll be back with a resumption of our tour around Germany. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm just now in between Leipzig and Nuremberg. And it's starting to go dark, isn't it? You know what, I should... Right, I'm going to stop. So, don't do this in real life. And I'm going to rest just so I can make it daytime again. So let's change it. Accept. Back in daytime. It is raining, but that's fine. Let's make sure we're still on rest time. So let's change that to driving and accept. Okay, so I think we're good to go. The trucks have kindly not passed us. They're all waiting in line. Let's just resume. Now, through the headphones as well, what I will say is... let me just put the wipers on, if I can do that without crashing. That will do us. What I can say is as well is with the headphones on, to me the sounds have improved. Did some work on the sounds. I'm in the small box truck, but the engine's got a fair grunt on it. Let's just go outside again. I'm going to crash, so ignore my driving, but I'm trying to look at the detail. Yeah, it's looking really good. Anyway, let's continue. Just over 100 kilometers. I want to show you as much of it as I can. And then I want you guys to jump in. Just let me know in the comments what you think. First reactions, I think, are important, aren't they, for anything in life? And this is a genuine reaction. I remember Aerosoft saying in one of their videos that they were making some graphical improvements. Well, not them, but Toxtronics are the actual developer. Aerosoft, of course, is just the publisher, so they do all the advertising and the publicising and whatnot. But they did say that they were making some graphical improvements, and to my mind, they've really stepped it up on this one. Let me just speed up a little bit. I don't want to keep you guys too long. Get the cruise back on again. So we're starting to come into quite a leafy area, and it looks good. Looks good. Now, the thing I'm not sure of, one of our subscribers told me that wheel support hasn't made it into this patch. I'll need to get the patch notes and see what's happened with that. So I'm assuming he's tried it with his wheel. I don't know if he's on Xbox or PlayStation. Can't remember. But anyway, wheel support doesn't seem to be working. But again, you guys test that out. Let me know down below. As you know, I only play on the controller. You can tell with the way I'm steering here. I'm just flicking the thumbstick in very fine movements. I don't own a set of pedals and a wheel, plus it would look pretty ridiculous sat in my living room in the comfy chair with that in front of me. I can manage with the controller for now, but I've said it all the time, you know, if you've got a wheel, this game would be excellent with a wheel. They must be having a little bit of trouble just getting that working perfectly, but I was kind of hopeful, and I know you guys were kind of hopeful that they'd work that out, because they did mention it coming in this patch, and there were some issues and some things had to be taken out of the patch, and the patch reissued, but it's still taking a while. I think this patch it's more than a month overdue from when they said it was first submitted. Must be 6 weeks at least. Must be 6 weeks. I need to look back on the channel and see when it was that I last put a video up here, because I think that was the last time I played it. I decided to wait until the patch because there was so much good stuff coming in this patch that they talked about. So I am pleased to be back on it, I will say that. And over this weekend I'll do a little bit more, try and get the patch notes, then we'll go through those together if we can. But any big differences that you notice once you've got the patch installed, put it down in the comments, we'll take a look. Right now I can't get over the graphical improvements. And look at the sky. The sky's changed. Look at those clouds. I need to go back and review the old videos, but the sky wasn't as detailed as that. It looks pretty realistic up there now. So we've got 57 kilometers to go. We should be able to cover that off pretty quickly. Just while we're talking about steering, don't forget, if you are new to the channel or new to On The Road, if you just started playing it, getting the steering settings right if you're using the controller can be a little bit tricky, and I do have a video in the playlist which just highlights what my settings are. I did do a lot of experimenting at the time to get the controls to where I wanted them. I've kind of, they need some slight adjustment, but they're pretty much where I want them to be, I would say. So I will link to that video above in the top right hand corner if you want to check that out. That's been a very popular video so far. Probably because of how tricky it is. You've got to do some fine adjustments, go back in, test it, do some more. It can get a little bit tedious, but I think I've got them, you know, pretty much spot on. A couple of you have sent me a few variations to that which I've tried, and I can see why you've done certain things, but I've gone back to what I've originally got in the video. I think that works best for me. Right, so we're coming off here, 40 kilometers to Nuremberg. Just really want to show you the city, because you've seen the open space here. Yeah, see, this is 10:17 in the morning. It looks like a rainy morning. What we got before was, you know, if we had rain like this, we tended to still have the sun as well, shining through it. It was as if they'd overlaid the rain over the top of the sun. Whereas now, it is actually gone very grey, and the sky reflects a rainy day. You can see some light in the distance there. And I should have pulled in. There's somebody next to me, isn't there? That's a close one. Ah, it's okay, you moved out of the way. Good. Oh, and we're doing it again. Don't want to cause a crash. So we should be getting the signs for Nuremberg anytime. Just generally in the game, if you remember from the previous videos, I've got 2 guys employed at the moment, so they're off making money for me. Soon as I can get to that next level and I'm able to buy another truck, I'm going to get out of this little box truck and we're going to go back to something bigger again. I was initially quite happy to get back to this truck, but I do like taking on a few more jobs, and these are only a very small capacity, so I will give this one to another driver. I may even sell this one actually and buy 2 different ones. But I do want to get a new driver. I want to get some of those guys making some money for us, especially with all this customization that's been introduced. I want to try to create a Tintin 57 company customization, if you will, to put on the sides of the trucks. I'm still running with the default at the moment, the Spedition Walter. Just pull up to this red. So we're only 12 kilometers away, so we should get the city. See, look at that van there. I mean, it's much better. It's almost backlit, isn't it? I can't describe it. Anyway, let's carry on because we're nearly there. You can tell I'm pretty excited. It is night and day, no pun intended, between what it was before. And I'm surprised they didn't make a bit more of a song and dance about this, you know, pre-release of the patch. For the patch just to turn up when it did was also a bit bizarre. I mean, I could only assume it was in a queue, and when they got to it, and they just released it. But anyway, it's fine. We've got it now. Some pop in there, look, in the distance, but let's just see what happens when we get nearer. Our destination's coming up on the right hand side. We're going to Brutto, is where we're going. We're going straight ahead, so I'm going to stay out of the cab if I can, because I want to show you as much as possible. Let's try not to get a red light penalty. Let's put it there. See, look at that tarmac there on the road. It's reflecting back. And that's the type of thing, I mean, you can see the marks on the road now. So much better. Right, so let's carry on to Brutto. And we'll drop off these deliveries that we've got. And then I'll let you guys go and download the patch for yourselves and let me know how it's going. Just make sure there's nobody crossing there. Now we've got more pedestrians than we had previously. Okay, so we'll jump out and walk to the freight office as soon as we get parked. Again, it's one of the easy depots to park at, this one. This one shouldn't give us too much trouble. Go straight back. Wait for the green light. There we go. Let's get the handbrake on. We can jump out. Yeah, so I got two deliveries in this one. Fruits. More fruits. So let's drop these off. So, more money for the bank, so that's good. I do have one more to drop off, but that's at a different depot. But for now, I will leave it there, because I just wanted to show you. Let's have a look up. Yeah, it's much better, much better. Even that crane isn't popping in, whereas previously it would do, even at that distance. So that's it, just wanted to jump on, just show you that, just tell you initially what I thought, share my excitement, encourage you to get the patch if you haven't done so already, and stay tuned because we'll be back with more on the road pretty soon if it's going to look like this, to be honest. Take it easy guys, thanks for joining me, I'll see you on the next one, bye for now.